Hello, hello, everyone. Sorry, I gotta post a TikTok. All right, cool. Sorry, I like totally locked into writing this caption on TikTok. Okay, well, there's all my mute music from another video. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, let me go publish it to YouTube. Ew. Social media marketing sucks. God, I love this song so much. Diplo really did the most here. This synth line is just everything to me. Alright, let me go check my other account. So apparently I got comments over there. I don't know what's going on. God, I fucking hate people on YouTube. People suck. Oh my god, I need to get off the internet. I don't know what to do as a creator. Like, I don't know. Thank you for this bagel, Jace. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
People on YouTube are like a whole fucking breed, guys. Okay, I gotta like lock in on art today. I don't even remember where I was. Alright. I guess probably it's a good thing to start with just coloring today because I don't know if I have the brain cells right now to deal You know, I listened to a comedian the other day, and I think that what she had to say was pretty damn accurate to like what I've got going on in the internet and why I don't like it. And she was making a joke because I mean, obviously, as a comedian, as one do, right? But the reality is like she was talking about how she misses the old internet. She was like, "Where's old TikTok?" Right? Where's old TikTok, and where you know are the videos of like old ladies trying to do TikTok dance trends and falling over? You know what I mean? Like what old school TikTok used to be. But her point is that, as in her words, everything feels like discourse. And what she hates about being on the internet is that if you go into a YouTube or a TikTok comment section, everybody is turning every single video into a college level debate. And people think that they are the smartest person in the room. So what really upsets me about it is that when I don't know something, I admit that I don't know something. And I constantly surround myself with educational content in an attempt to teach myself new things because I acknowledge and I recognize that I don't know something. So I was advertising Mirror Gaze, and I obviously don't have the time to explain in a 60-second video the entire plot of my book. And I had somebody on YouTube go, "Plagiarism isn't original. You wrote fan fiction." And I'm like, actually, I didn't. Right? Because I know that I changed the characters, the plot, the setting, I use a fairy tale archetype to, you know, go forth with the plot, and I wrote it because I was inspired by how much I disliked a piece of media. But this person assumes from a less than 60-second promotional that I am writing fan fiction and pushing it off as, quote, real work. Right? And I acknowledge that if they had taken 60 seconds, longer than 60 seconds, to actually click on the description of the book, they would know that. But instead, they want to leave some hot comment on the internet. And the reality is that I know better. Why do I know better? Because I have 4 fucking art degrees, and I'm very familiar as an instructor, as an educator who teaches at the college level, what plagiarism is. Right? That's 99% of my job is detecting and calling out plagiarism when I see it. Right? So, obviously what I've done is by no means plagiarism in any way, shape, or form. But this person feels like because they're so fucking smart that they need to leave a shitty comment on somebody else's video because they know better. They're so smart. Right? And I'm all for people learning. You know, like, there are going to be people who don't know 100% about a specific topic, so they need more information to understand what's going on. But that's not what this is. Right? And, like, I don't know how to tell this person as well that it's like, alright, if you think that fan fiction is plagiarism, tell that to the author that wrote 50 Shades of Grey. It is a well-known fact that 50 Shades of Grey is Twilight fanfiction. And that person made multiple millions of dollars, right? So really what I fucking hate is that people on the internet, I don't know what it is about the internet climates today, but every single human wants to be the smartest human on the internet as if that makes them special. And it is so fucking annoying as somebody who is qualified and educated to have to deal with them on a daily basis. I can't. I cannot cope. Hi, Carol. I just really don't want to be in marketing anymore. And then I also recognize too that unfortunately the interview that I had, I should have known. I do not fault. Oh, I need a ground plane here. Crazy how I don't have any ground on this illustration. I should have known that the guy wanted or needed these services when he reached out. It was not very clear what kind of job position he needed to fill, but it very quickly became apparent that the position that he's looking to fill is that of a marketing one. Right? And so as hard as I am trying to get out of marketing, because I don't like marketing these AI boomer ass books, and I also acknowledge that his books and his publishing company with Simply Read Books is not going to be nearly the same clients that I'm used to working with over at Pubvendo, right? Like that's not the way that it's going to go, because he produces children's books first of all, so those are, you know, he's also staunchly anti-AI, which is a massive improvement from having to work for Pubvendo and have to effectively concede. But at the end of the day, it's still a marketing job, and I can't seem to fucking escape marketing. And I am tired. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do marketing anymore. But I also acknowledge that because I'm a relatively successful indie author compared to the vast majority, that makes it look like I have knowledge that other people don't, when really it's just a system of coordinated, repeated attempts until something worked. Yeah, I'm just so done with people. So done. What I need is to get big enough, guys. We have to work toward making me literally so big that I can hire a social media manager who does not have trauma around the internet, who can actually just handle all of my social media for me. That would be fucking sick. I don't want the rest of my life to be having to defend why my work should exist. You know, that's what it feels like posting on the internet, just in case anybody is curious about, you know, what it's like to be an independent content creator. Effectively, every second of every day is spent defending yourself against strangers on the internet who are like your middle school bullies on coke, and who think that they know better than you and should also be able to determine whether or not you have the right to exist. And for the sake of continuing to make art, and out of my desire to put something out into this world that I find actually impactful, or that actually means something and reaches other people and touches other people, my job then becomes having to literally fight for my life every fucking day. It's awesome. Not to be negative first thing in the morning. That's what I get for fucking, you know, doing any kind of social media marketing before I stream. I wish it wasn't like that. I really do. It would be awesome if it was not like that. And I know somebody like Lizzo would say, like, the haters showed up, so that means you're doing something right. But as somebody with trauma who can't, like, I really just, I can't take that shit, you know? I don't know how I'm supposed to just sally forth, you know? I'm just tired. I'm so tired. Here we go. I gotta wrap up this thing, and then I gotta go into my office hours. I would like to congratulate every single European in this stream, by the way, for having a better reading comprehension than an actual native English-speaking American. I don't ever want to bully somebody for, like, their reading or writing ability, but it's starting to get kind of fucking ridiculous over here, guys. Starting to get a little crazy. I think I'm gonna use this one. Oh, maybe not. Just kidding. It might be this one instead. There we go. That's better. Oh. That is not the right font size at all. I don't really like this dialogue, to be honest. I might have to change this one because... Oh my god, I love that though. You're in the vibe. You're in the lo-fi zone. That's wonderful. I love Alpine. He's very pretty. I'm doing research as well. So actually, just kidding. Slowly but surely. Okay, let's see. I need to spell check this shit. Actually, let me open up. I'm not copying and pasting directly from my script. So I need to make sure that it doesn't have any typos in it, because for whatever reason, Photoshop still doesn't have a spell checker. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I can't forget that I also need, I need the burning. I need the burning from the previous page. I have no burning. His brain needs to burn. I'm gonna go ahead and just redo now that we've done this on the page a couple of times. These are bubbles. Them's bubbles. Let's see, lighting effects. There we go. What is this? I need to go to my color pal. This bad boy. I love this brush so much. Only when it does what I need it to do, though. That'll work. Feeling goes. Christ into my eyes. Where is the brush? I'm like, I don't even know how big this thing is. There we go. I like literally can't see it. This is a little intense. I don't need that much. I think I'm going to just keep using, I'll just keep using this little thing so that I don't have to draw it over and over, but I'll change the shape of the other stuff. Because this is all the same relatively. This is exclusion, and it's also in the blue. And actually, you know what? As much as I liked the exclusion on, like, another layer, I don't really care about it anymore. He's fine. He's fine. I'm excited to not have to draw these SFX anymore. Eventually, when we get off this page, or off of this section, and he goes back to the Trippy Taco, I won't have to do that anymore. Would be cool, you know? Would be pretty dope. He's like, my brain! You know, I'm actually going to move this, like this. Let's do this one. I'm actually gonna go ahead and flip this tail on this thing. Hi. Don't really like that one. Let me actually do this instead. Bro. Everybody should stretch. The music now sounds like a wooden flute of some sort. Tweedly, tweedle, 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 tweedle.
It's very magical.
It's very zen.
Yeah.
Everybody should stretch, hydrate, sit up. We got a self-care combo. Take care of yourself. That's better. Also, snack time. I need to finish my bagel. Being good. I'm going to eat this baggie. Thank you, Carol. At least we got each other. For the sake of explaining what's going on, I would love to be more accurate to the text, but I think I'm going to change the dialogue a little bit here. So that way I have some degree of, recap, because I recognize that a lot of the people reading have been... I don't release pages that often, so it's easy to forget what happened. Actually, it's most likely that this is going to go like this. Sure. I don't want to change too much because I'm lazy, but, you know. You know what? I really wish that this was not so technical, too. That's okay. I don't want to grade today. I'm kind of glad that I'm going to be done with this job in about 2 weeks. Like, it's going to be finally... I'm not going to have to do it anymore. But also, I'm sad that I'm not going to have money. So I'll probably open art commissions again while I'm waiting for income from this new publishing house. But I don't know. I'm actually going to go like this, and I have to redo the detail again, but that's okay. There we go. I love how Wukong is explaining all of this while his head is actively on fire, and Albing is like, that's that's interesting. I love AI viewers from Streamboo. Oh my god. I need to chill out. I hit the report button, right? And you have all the list of options of, you know, what to report, what kind of behavior you're trying to report, so that the mods can have a better understanding of what's going on. And it's pretty easy to report bots because all you do is just type bot and they'll understand, you know, what's going on. But for a brief second, my brain was like, I should report this bot for terrorism, and I need to, like, chill out. Oh, man. Oh my god. I need to chill. Oh yeah, let me go turn this shit off. Thank you, Jace. I appreciate you. I cannot even believe... Actually, yes I can, because it's fucking Jeff Bezos. Never mind. I was also trying to explain to Callahan how they have, like,
Did you find the thing?
I'll find it.
Okay, yeah, it's all the way at the bottom of the, security and privacy portion.
So, like, I was trying to explain to Callahan even, apparently a very popular thing up here is called e-transfer. And it's effectively a way to send money just like you would with Venmo from one person to another.
Yeah, Interac. Yep.
Right, right. So that being said, though, I was trying to explain to him that Jeff Bezos, like, the only way that we have to do that in the U.S. is through fucking Venmo, which is owned by PayPal, which is owned by Amazon, which is owned by Jeff Bezos. And, like, he takes, like, $2.50 every time you fucking transfer anything. So to send your friend $20, you have to actually send them $22.50. So that way that Jeffy Jeff can get his cut. And I think about that shit. So, regarding Twitch, I'm like, oh, man... I can't believe that they would train everybody's streams off of AI. And I'm like, yes, I can. Jeff Bezos takes fucking money from PayPal transfers, man. Like, all right, let me go find it. The problem is that this is not...
No, it is.
No, it's not.
Because I just did it.
Okay, well then where is it? Because I'm on a streamer end, man. So if it's...
I clicked on my little icon.
Oh, it's under your profile. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I have
scroll all the way down.
Wow, that's so fucking disgusting.
Yep, right there. Unclick it.
God, that's so fucking
and it's, like,
disgusting.
Automatically toggled on, too.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Everybody should turn this off. By the way, hold on, let me go share.
I'm gonna drop the link.
Yeah, I got it. I got the link. If you're on Twitch right now and you don't want Jeff Bezos to train your Twitch or use your Twitch profile to train generative AI, please go do this. You should put it over in the Discord though, I think, Jace, because a lot of people on here use Twitch. It's fucking disgusting. Oh, I fucking thanks past me. I was like, I wonder what these shots are gonna look like. The answer, they are literally all the same shot. Oh man. Wowie, I love that though. Beautiful. Let me open up Daz. I haven't done this. Oh. Hello? I'm gonna sit for just a moment and drink some Kofifi. Let me get the right stuff open. Sorry, I am very, burnt out today, I think. Yesterday was a really intense day. And I am low-key sad that, the guy that I met with yesterday was unable to give me like a work visa right away. It would have really eased my mind. Okay, I'm fine. Hello? Why you no open? Hello? Oh my god, Daz, why you no open? Why you no open? I just started shouting. I love having technical errors. Alright. I just want to be able to draw, man. I know that you have the ability to do this. Because I opened you before I moved, so... Yeah, you're just a piece of poopy. That's what I thought, Daz. Okay, sorry, give me just a second, y'all. Now I gotta do the... glorious, very, very exciting repositioning of humans here. Okay, that'll do. Sure. I'm gonna just do multiples of the same shot, I think. Sorry, hold on, guys. I gotta... Thankfully, this will actually be quite easy, all things considered. Okay, so then that'll be actually exactly the same. Well... I have to change the hands, but that's okay. Mm. Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and turn those off. All right. I am so tired. hard. What's hard about this is that I'm really passionate about this story, and I'm really passionate about doing this overall project. But I think what makes this hard as a creator who is doing stuff to try and make a living off of work versus as somebody who is just kind of doing this for fun because I'm really passionate about, you know, like the art. And it's not to say that I'm not passionate about the art, right? Not to say that I'm not excited about the project overall as a whole. But it's really hard when you're doing this as somebody who wants to make a living off of it, and then effectively you have like 107 subscribers on Tapas and are making absolutely zero money, and you're almost 300 pages into a comic that will likely take you 15 total years of your life. And you just have to like keep telling yourself that like eventually it'll get popular, eventually something will happen. And that's like, it's really painful. I just want to have a job where I'm actually happy doing what I'm doing. Yeah, and honestly, like, I thankfully don't have anybody that's like, oh my god, when is it coming out? Like, genuinely, all of the people that message me about it are like, I'm very excited about the next volume. Please DM me and let me know. You know what I mean? They want to, you know, wait for it very patiently. So I have not yet quite gotten to that level of, annoyance, I think, with the entire thing. It's more so that nobody has any fucking idea that I exist. And so the problem really is that, you know, you're putting in at this number of work and effectively showing it to, like, if you can assume that like 100 people, 107 people subscribe to me on Tapas, right? Only about 10% or less of all of those people, probably closer to 2 to 3% of all of those people actually read the comic on a weekly basis. And you can see that reflected in like the amount of likes and the comments that I get, right? And so literally 3 people out of 107 people, 3 to 5 people are actually liking and engaging with the comic every week, right? And so even though I hit this milestone of being able to collect ad revenue now on the comic, if nobody's actually reading it, I don't get to make any money. You know what I mean? So like if I look at the back end of, I'm curious to see if anything is shifted on the back end of Tapas. I don't know. So since starting to get ad revenue, so this month I've had 5 total ad impressions. That's the number of times an ad was seen on my comic. This month I have made $0 total dollars of ad revenue. Last month it was also 5, 0, or sorry, hold on, monthly.
July.
So January was when I got the sub. So July, somebody read it. Yeah, somebody read it. Like they saw 207 ads in July, which tells me that reflects somebody who subscribed to my comic recently and then binged the entire thing. Right.
Right.
Despite that,
because it's one.
Because it's one person, I have made 0 ad revenue.
Right.
So the only way for me to make any kind of money really doing what I'm doing is through like Patreon or through Ko-fi
Right.
in this case.
Mm-hmm.
And like while that's insanely helpful, I definitely do not make enough from like the 10 close friends that I have that are over there doing that.
Right.
And while on my comic I do have, you know, advertisements every page, you know, that say that like you can click and support the comic via you know, Ko-fi and subscribe to get early access to chapters and all of that other stuff. Like the reality is people just don't have money,
Right.
you know. So it effectively I'm effectively just making this entire thing with absolutely zero acknowledgement or recognition that I'm doing so,
Mm-hmm.
other than maybe again like the 3 to 5 people every month that, you know, are either here in the streams or like actually commenting on stuff on, you know, my work, which is insane. So it's hard because you have people who are like, well, you should be happy just making art for the sake of making art. And it's like, well, I'm trying desperately to make art so that way I don't have to do anything else. Because as of right now, I emotionally and physically cannot tolerate other people. Yep. So my goal is to not just like do it for funsies. My goal is to make a career out of it. And that would be like telling a carpenter, somebody who was like making money making like furniture or something, it's like, oh well, you should just give away your furniture for free and eventually something good will happen to you. And it's like that's insane. Like,
yep. Yeah.
So it's hard because like it's starting to get to the point where I woke up to work on this comic and my first thought was I don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And there's like this glimmer of like, well, maybe if I keep going and eventually, you know, it'll get large enough that something will happen. You know, if I keep posting on TikTok, if I keep, and it's like I've been doing this for over like 10 years now. Not this comic specifically, but trying to grow an online following for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. And like the only way that you effectively get any kind of like recognition on the internet is if you get really lucky and some of your shit goes viral. And then it really snowballs that level of following and that success.
Yeah.
But I've been waiting for that to happen for literally 10 years.
Yep.
60 hours a week for 10 years for effectively like very, very, very minimal progress.
Yep.
So it's just relatively exhausting.
Yep.
Hi, Blades. Yeah, you can always share links to anything that you've got in the chat. I don't have like link restrictions on or anything. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to cope with that because like I know my shit is good. Like my shit is good enough that when I emailed that stupid fucking video game company again with a general application, the confirmation that I got back from that lady was, "Thanks for touching base again, and I'm glad you made it to Vancouver safely." You know, yes, you're still in our talent pool. You know, if you see anything open up, please apply directly so that way we know that you're interested in that specific position. But we'll reach out if anything pops up. You know, so I'm good enough to sit in Indie Studios talent pool.
Yes.
But there's just no opportunity.
Right.
So.
And it just sucks being in the, well, you're good enough, but we just don't have anything. Or you're almost there, but that's it. It's always almost.
Yeah. It's, like edging from hell.
Yeah.
And I wish it wasn't that bad.
Really mean.
It's just fucking awful.
Yeah.
And I'm just really tired. I don't really know what to do. Hi, Blades. Yeah, you can share anything that you have always in the chat. I don't ever have, like, link restrictions on.
Oh, ads are apparently going right now.
Oh, yeah, the ads are done now.
No, they're not.
Not for you! You're trapped in ad hell!
Yep.
On my end, it says that they're done. I'm sorry that IKEA wants to sell you a dresser, Jace.
Now they're done.
Okay. Yes, cool. Hi, Blades. You can always share anything that you have in the chat. I don't have chat or link restrictions on, so you don't ever have to ask to pop stuff that's yours in the chat. I unfortunately can't watch a YouTube short though at the moment, just because I can't play video while I'm on stream. I have to like go and turn off a bunch of stuff to swap the audio just over from Spotify to desktop in order to do that, but I will check it out later. And of course, please share it in the Discord as well, so that way I don't lose track of it. Your uncle's playing Monster Train 2, whatever the fuck that means, Jace. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know Monster Train 2. I just wish that I had the industry experience to just get something.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, like, complain a bunch, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to not let this shit do this to me. And I was really hoping that I would be able to stave the depression off longer.
Yeah.
But the reality is like I don't find this as a coincidence, you know, that effectively the week that I start promoting myself again on social media, the depression comes back.
Right.
You know, because I'm putting this stuff out here effectively to just get yelled at by people on YouTube.
Right.
And that's my life. Which is hard. And there is, to some degree, like, the urge to fight, like, exceptionalism, you know? I think particularly Americans get caught in the trap of, like, oh, well, I did all of the right stuff, so therefore I deserve a reward, right? It's very much like a participation trophy thing where you expect that just because you did something means that you deserve recognition for it, right? But nothing in the world is guaranteed, and there is no level of guaranteed recognition. But I think the annoyance comes from like the reality that we're effectively told that all of these products are being built to serve us, to help us extend our reach, and to help us reach new audiences and connect with people, and then those products don't work. And then, of course, people would argue, well, the content that you're posting on social media isn't good content, and it's like, no, I know it is. But we live in a system of, like, engagement. And, you know, like, if people are noticing now, too, that even with TikTok, in order to get videos to anybody, you have to, like, actually pay the money to boost the videos. And then, because TikTok functions off of an engagement-based ad spend, a lot of people will then go into the comments, like, you'll get shown an ad, and everybody in the comments is like, why am I seeing this ad? Because the audience that it hits clearly doesn't correlate with the audience that actually would find that product or that video useful, you know? So, very strange. So then you're effectively wasting your money, you know what I mean? It's like, damn.
Yep. Apparently, so I saw an article earlier. Apparently, MySpace is going to do a relaunch in a direct, like, protest to the algorithm based stuff and effectively bring it back to, like, old internet where it's just timeline based. And, like, whatever's the newest thing, that's just what shows up on your feed in chronological order. And you don't have to pay money to
yes, because the
push
For You page
up.
is the fucking devil, man.
Yep.
Like, And it's hard. It's hard because, like, on the plus side, like, on one hand, I'm like, yes, absolutely. I think for casual enjoyment,
Yeah.
yes, that
Yeah.
needs to be the thing that's brought back because the algorithms suck. But then on the other hand, I'm like, okay, so if nobody knows I exist and nobody follows my MySpace account, I reach
Right.
no one.
Right. Which is really the algorithm should be helpful.
Right. And again, that's
Yeah.
the promise that I'm talking
Yeah.
about, where it's like we have promises of, again, a product functioning. And then that is not at all how the thing works. And instead it just causes, a pretty fucking significant amount of like psychological damage, which is crazy.
Mm.
And I think what makes it hard is that it's like I have tried. Oh, this is not right. I have tried, effectively doing everything that I need to affect, like, I guess, produce quality content for the internet, right? But what's really hard, and I think what I'm running into is the reality that the internet is effectively like it functions off of like rage bait algorithms here in America, right? Or in the North American region. And so that's where that gets tricky, and I don't know if the algorithms are different for like Asian countries, for example. Like obviously ByteDance has a completely different algorithm than whatever the fuck American TikTok is, you know what I'm saying? Um but then my question is what fuels their content, so everybody is going to have a different understanding of what works and how that impacts their viewing experience. And it makes me wonder because, like, I think about how videos in Japan that are popular, for example, are like cooking videos, ASMR videos, dance videos, idol videos, versus what's popular in America is effectively political rage bait, right? That's what gets pushed the most on the algorithm. And the algorithm intentionally does this. And so it's
Right.
almost as if in the United States, the only way to have any kind of algorithmic movement is to post the most rage baity ass content you possibly can.
Right.
And so that's where certain creators, I think, have kind of weaponized this in a beneficial way. I'm thinking particularly of Adam Ellis as a comic creator, right? He's an LGBTQ plus comic creator, and when people give him shit, he throws the shit right back.
Right.
And he's very unafraid of doing that, but I think it takes a very specific personality type and a very resilient person to be able to effectively get called slurs and then turn that slur into viable content, or to not be bothered by the content, because like that brave son of a bitch is still on Twitter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's able to effectively manipulate that hate bait algorithm into working in his favor. And anytime anybody says something homophobic, he just doubles down and posts an even gayer comic if it's possible.
Yep.
And then on Twitter, because he's relying exclusively on the hate bait that's going on, he's able to then use the fuel from the homophobia to reach his actual audience.
Right.
Which is crazy. That is an insane strategy, and it works. But, like, I don't have the emotional resilience, effectively, to just shit on people 24/7.
Right. And to be shit on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's effectively what you have to be prepared for if you're going to take that kind of marketing approach.
Yeah.
Which is fucking nuts. And so then it results in me asking the question, it's like, because, like, why write books if no one reads them?
Yeah.
Like, as much as people want to be like, well, just write the thing for you. It's like, that was cool when I was fucking 17 years old.
Right.
And I'm a 32-year-old adult-ass man who's trying to make a viable career out of this while everybody's arguing about whether or not J.K. Rowling should still be fucking relevant.
Right.
So, like, that's cute and everything, but also, you know, like,
yeah.
to some extent, as much as I love people on the internet, and I don't blame anybody, obviously, for not having any money, I feel like that the consumer population on the internet has effectively, I think, taken the wrong message to heart, and that message is you should be joyful and happy creating just for the sake of creating. And then when artists are like, hey, AI is threatening my income, it's like, well, don't feel bad about it, just make more art. And it's like, no, you're not fucking understanding. The way that these people are operating is taking money directly out of my pocket.
Yep.
Right? Then they say, oh, well, you should just be happy making art for you and you don't need to worry about what anyone else thinks. And it's like, well, the reality is that we live in a capital-based society, and in order to keep my apartment, I have to pay rent.
Yep.
So I do have to care.
I need to buy groceries.
Yeah, I have to care about what people think because I am unable to support myself. If we lived in a true, like, old school barter society, I could probably trade, like, my neighbor, you know, some fucking books for a pineapple or something, you know what I mean? And you can then, on an individual small scale level, receive goods, which is effectively what Ko-fi is, right? Yeah. It's like you have a small community of people who are providing that kind of, comfort and community support to you. But I make effectively $175 USD on Ko-fi every month. That is, my rent is and my expenses are $2,500. So while it helps, that's effectively where we're at. And like, this is of course not unique to any artist or anybody in this situation. Where we're at is young people are taking out debt at exponential levels and all of a sudden are using their credit cards to pay for groceries.
Yep.
Which is obviously not how that's supposed to work. And so that's kind of the similar situation that I'm in, where I am effectively using any and all money that I get from Ko-fi. Like, I have my Ko-fi moving cushion donation goal down there to pay back my credit card costs from moving and the credit card costs that I have from actually legitimately just existing.
Yep.
And so I'm not really able to make any kind of profit or have any kind of upward mobility. And I think there's a lot of an assumption of like, well, maybe you should just try to apply for other jobs. But I'm watching other people that I know who have gotten degrees in other fields and they're trying to apply for jobs and they can't get any work either.
Right.
You know, so there's no amount of like me switching gears and trying something else that would likely make this situation better, you know, because like I've pivoted plenty in my life, right? Like I go and, you know, you get a degree in marketing. I'm effectively, my straight job is a marketing job, right?
Yep.
And that's fine, but it's miserable. It's so fucking bad. So I'm to the point where I would really, really, really like to be recognized for the shit that I actually have put my time and practice into versus having to consistently struggle to get people to look at my stuff. And I don't know what to do. And I recognize that obviously I am not the only artist asking myself this question. You know, I think about this other artist that I follow. She's from Italy. She makes just bought a set of tarot cards from her actually on a Kickstarter that she ran. They're so fucking cute. They're really obnoxious and violent and very cynical. She also is a millennial aged artist, and it's her work is fucking funny. And I love it. But I like saw her post today, and she was like, "Yeah, I had a goal in August to make 15 Etsy sales." And that's her goal, is 15 Etsy sales. And if we're talking like maybe on average her products are 10 to 15 euro a pop, then literally that's $150 is her goal. That's her goal for her business, is fucking $150. That is insane. That is how you starve.
Yep.
And this girl is going to conventions and she doesn't want to do conventions anymore. She has a lot of the similar sentiment that I do about conventions, where she's over in Italy, but she's going to these conventions and they make her want to fucking die. You know,
Yeah.
like they are awful fucking environments to be in.
Yep. Yeah, it's not like it used to be when like we were teens or early adults,
Yeah.
where like people are just walking around kind of dead-eyed, and
It's so bad.
they effectively, you'll get like one or two kids who will come up and like effectively talk your ear off but not buy anything. And
Yep. Yeah, because they want to talk about all the art that they're making.
yeah.
And I'm always glad to support young people. Like I don't mind that at all. Right?
Yeah.
I don't mind that situation. But it's hard to, like, even when my own students are like, you know, I get emails literally every semester that are like, how did you break into the industry? And it's like, bro, I haven't. My jobs have not turned around, you know, like at all. And it's hard to tell students that, where it's effectively, it's like your only hope is to literally just keep doing DoorDash.
Yeah.
And that's so fucking depressing. Oh, hi, Mariners. Yeah, no, we're talking about how difficult it is as an artist. It's not that her business plan is underwhelming. It's that
that's realistic.
Literally, people are not they're not buying art to such an extent that it's actually probably a miracle that she is making 150 to 250 euros a month. Like, for me, I consider it an achievement if I am able to, you know, effectively pay off a credit card, or like put 100 to 200-ish dollars of my own income toward a credit card. Like, as an artist myself, I'm talking about, you know, like working as an artist as a career, right? And the reality is I make no profit because no one has any money to spend. And so even if you get like a pretty decently sized following, you have to have effectively millions of followers in order to make a profit, because only around 2% of all of your followers are going to engage with your content and maybe will spend money on your content. And so if you have, like in my case, for example, around 1,500 followers, that means that less than 15 people are going to contribute fiscally to me every month, which means I starve, you know? So I'm facing a lot of burnout. I was kind of hoping that moving to Canada would help, and it helped a little bit until I got back onto the internet today and had to start marketing again, and then got yelled at on YouTube. So it was pretty fucking cool. You can have the best business plan in the world. I've been doing this for like a decade, and I've had really good business plans. And I have 4 degrees in art, and one of them is in running a business to publish a book. And you know, I'm very lucky that actually Liminal House has been doing better. But to some extent, I also feel guilty as well, because Liminal House kind of functions off of this idea of you know, me helping authors prepare their products to be publisher ready, you know. So it's not that they are being deceived, or that the product that they're getting at the end of it all, you know, a very amazingly polished book that looks professional and is up to traditional publishing standards, that's a lie. But to some degree, I feel like I'm selling them a lie, in the sense that they are in the same position that I was when I was younger. That you know, that they will make it, right? That there's that shred of hope that you're gonna make it. I've accepted that my first novel will lose money, but I see it as a skills investment. No, absolutely. And the reality is that 80% of all books, that's the actual real statistic, 80% of all books lose money, full stop. Even traditionally published books, right? Like when Penguin Random House puts out a book, especially if it's a debut, it likely will lose money, which is why the publishing industry is actually collapsing, right? It is not doing well right now. But the problem is that I'm in the position where I have just now published my 12th book, and I still have not seen a return on investment. I have gone from being effectively losing thousands of dollars publishing my books, to now the level of progress that I've made is still progress, but the progress is that I now no longer lose money on my books. But by no means am I able to you know, support myself on my books. And you would hope that after book number 12, you would be starving a little bit less, but the reality is that I have not budged. And no degree of like award winning or hard work will do it. Oh yeah, no, and I understand that. And that's really what we're talking about is I know that very, very well. But the problem is that it's starting to become to the point where I'm experiencing a high degree of rejection in almost all areas of my life. So whether it's providing manuscripts to agents and trying to get a book published traditionally, so that I have to hold brain space for less. Right, I don't have to worry as much about the logistics of producing the book. Somebody else can handle that, and I still have to worry about marketing and promotion. But that's at least a couple things less for me to worry about, right? But I'm being rejected there because the market is very, very, very narrow. And I just had a conversation with a publisher who runs a book publishing company here in Vancouver who has experienced the same. He's experiencing the same thing and is in desperate need of marketing help, which is why I potentially will be hired to work for his publishing company as a marketing consultant, which is fine, but then also to as a content creator every single day, because people are just fucking horrible and want to shit on other people, even when I'm earnestly trying to promote my work and I'm very excited about the things that I've made. Like I have a new backer kit coming up for my newest novella that's coming out in the fall. And I got told by somebody today on YouTube that I'm a no better than a fan fiction writer, and that I don't deserve anything, and that I'm a plagiarizer, and that they hope my book fails. And so every day becomes an instance of either micro or macro rejection. And so it gets to the point where, for example, I'm on page 295 of this comic. I have drawn over 6,200 illustrations, give or take, for this comic. And I still am unable to make ad revenue, and so the question that you ask yourself is, why am I doing this? And the only reason that I can really give myself is that all other options are too depressing. So my options are suffer or suffer more, and that's where this is starting to get tricky. And I was really hoping that moving to Canada would be something that would help alleviate a little bit of the anxiety, and it's definitely helped a lot with the personal safety aspects of stuff, because the reality is even though Vancouver's kind of crusty and it's a major city, I no longer am fearful of just like walking down the street and getting shot. So that's a dramatically positive improvement, for sure. But in terms of like my own personal career, it's just always I'm close, but I'm never close enough. And it's hard to talk about because I watch other creators as well to share their personal opinions of stuff, and these can be even like very large creators, and they get told to just shut the fuck up and produce the product. Nobody really cares about the person's well-being or what they can do to make things better. And it's really hard. So I woke up today not really wanting to do this, and knowing that I have effectively 15 more years of producing this product, because it will bother me exponentially more to never finish the product than it would to continue to do this if no one sees it. Because at least if I get done with it, I know that I finished it, and I can give myself that at least. But yeah, it's hard to be effectively on like book 12 and to have almost nothing to show for it other than, neckbeards on the internet who are throwing transphobic slurs at me. I feel like Dottie Freyr's what is that song? Moves to Make. That song, Dottie Freyr's Moves to Make, is my day-to-day life, where I'm effectively just walking around in a perpetual state of exhaustion from depression. And then there's not really, like, there are moments of relief, but those moments are very, very brief. And that's what makes it, I think, even more sad, is that they don't last for very long. And because there's no stability, then the next step becomes, okay, well, what happens next? Right? Where is my next bit of income coming from? What do I need to do to survive or continue to survive? What job do I need to pursue? How hard do I need to hustle? you know. Also, hi, Lear. I promise I'm not ignoring you. I hope you enjoy your lunch. What are you eating for lunch? So, I'm back at the thought process again of churning things around in my brain and trying to figure out what my life means, you know? And I don't have answers to that. And then you add, you know, PTSD and neurodivergence on top of that, and then things get even more complicated. I just wish that something of mine could just go viral. That would be literally for a good reason and not because I'm like fucking trans and, you know, people want to kill me. That would be ideal. And there is a way to craft systematic virality, you know. Um and I do think about how a lot of folks get stuck in, like, they call it like 200 view TikTok jail or whatever. And effectively what's going on the back end of the algorithm is trying to figure out what your audience is, but the content that you produce doesn't signal to TikTok enough marketability. It doesn't know what it's trying to show to people, right? So then effectively it sends it out to around 200-ish people, and then you get very low likes, very low engagement, and then TikTok stops pushing the content, right? So that's kind of what's going on the back end. So my videos regularly hit anywhere from like 500 to 1K views. So that means I'm not in TikTok jail, but it's not much better, you know. So I know that what I'm doing formulaically does work better than average, which is good. But again, not by much. So it's a close but no cigar situation. And I am just exhausted. I don't want to have to just open the internet and defend myself 24/7. I just want to be able to live. Hi, Chips. How you doing? Nice. I hope you all had fun. I am trying to not let the swamp of sadness devour me. It's not working. The seagulls be seagulling outside. They be gulling. They're gulling it up. I prefer seagulls to magpies, to be honest. I feel like magpies are low-key the screamers of the bird world, and not in a good way. Yes, I did. We were just talking about that, Mariners. By the way, if everybody has not turned off the demonic AI setting, please do so. Twitch is now trying to train AI off of everybody's content on Twitch, so please follow this link. I'll make the announcement again in just a second. I realize we're stuck in ad town. Demonic. Literally disgusting. I'll wait until Jason's out of ad hell, because then I'll know everybody's free.
They're trying to sell me.
They're trying to sell you protein.
They think I'm not buff enough.
You need to get swole, Jace. Clearly, Jeff Bezos needs. Yeah,
brick house.
Pete Hegseth needs you to be the most manly, testosterone-fueled man for the U.S. Army. Okay, great. Yeah, if you guys have not turned off the setting, please click the link that I just dropped into Discord or into the Twitch chat, because Twitch is trying to literally data train AI off of everybody's fucking profiles. So if you don't want them to do that, you need to go into your personal profile by clicking the icon up in the upper right-hand corner of Twitch and turning that shit off.
Oh, that's a Discord link?
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Sorry. My bad. Don't click on that. That's cursed. This is the one. There's the blue sky one. That shows you directions on where to find the setting. But yeah, turn that shit off. Turn it off! Demonic. Jeff Bezos doesn't need to know what I'm doing with my life. He already tried to ban me over a butt. Oh no, you can taste the protein. Oh god. That's upsetting. I know exactly what you mean, and that sounds horrendous. Horrendous. That's gross. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of to the point where it's just Jeff Bezos wants to make money. And also, too, like, I've been noticing some interesting things, and I have to double check that this is a real thing that's happening. Our AI come... Yeah, so this is scary. This is scary. So hold on, let me open up Yahoo Finance. So this is something to be aware of, and what's going on in the AI world. So, IPO means that the product goes public, right? So that's what happens when a company, so say for example you have like Anthropic, right? And they're funded by private investors. These private investors have invested about $2 trillion into AI as a whole. And this applies to Claude and Anthropic, ChatGPT and OpenAI, Gemini and Meta and their AI, as well as Grok, right? And xAI. Right, so $2 trillion people have dumped into AI. And as a whole, the industry, since it really took off in like 2022, has only generated about $50 billion of profit. Which is not a lot. That is literally a drop of water in the ocean for how much money has been invested into this technology that actually doesn't work. Surprise to no one, it doesn't do nearly as much as they were advertising that it would. And the products do have some functionality, but not as much as they needed to actually make money, right? So now what they're going to do is that they're going to take all 4 of those products, and I believe in this case it's Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, and xAI, right? They want to go public with it. So by that they mean that instead of having multiple singular million, billion, trillion dollar investors, right, into a product, they want to open it up to the public so that the public can then buy stocks in their products. So unfortunately what this means is that anybody who has any kind of 401k in the United States specifically is now suddenly going to be investing their 401k into AI. So that sucks already. But then secondly, what will happen is the plan for them is this. While the AI hype is still high and the products have not yet crashed, the AI bubble has not yet burst, these companies going public, they need to repay their shareholders somehow, right? They need to pay back that $950 billion to their investors that they're currently short. So if they make the companies go public, then our money, our tax money, whether you're intentionally investing in the stocks and that's your own personal pocket cash, or whether or not you happen to have a 401k or an investment portfolio that is invested in like NASDAQ, for example, will go into paying those shareholders back for that money. And typically these kinds of things happen right before an economic bubble burst. And so this is them cashing in their chips. This is them going, you know what? I think that I better cash in before the next time I'm unlucky and I need to pull out before the thing crashes. So this is the largest indicator that we've had that AI is actually going to burst. So a lot of companies also then are trying to do a bunch of like shitty ass stuff, like putting an AI into literally everything, even when it doesn't need it, simply because they have to convince their investors that they are making money, that they are trying to expand, that they are trying to, grow to match the market, which is just not what's happening, So Jeffrey then decides that he wants to put an AI into Twitch to also, too, most importantly, lay off employees. They don't really want to pay people for actual work in the same way that, like, effectively I'm still locked out of my Facebook account, although I'm getting much closer to getting back in because I actually talk to a real human. But they replaced all of their customer service with AI. You cannot, if you have an issue with Instagram, Facebook, Threads, WhatsApp, any kind of meta business stuff, you cannot talk to a human. There are no humans left. So you have to go through really obscure channels in order to talk to somebody and get a hold of that. And that's their goal, because that saves them money. They don't have to pay an actual human to do shit. And who knows, maybe it could be for a more positive reason, like maybe Twitch is trying to improve its algorithm so that smaller streamers like me could get better discovered in the market, but they're also not being transparent about what they're going to be using this AI data training for. It's just a setting that showed up, right? And so it's like, what are you doing with it? Like, if you were to tell me that we were building a TikTok-style algorithm that would help push your stream to people with better discoverability, awesome. Sure. Use my channel data and who visits my my stream for that data, but you're not telling me what you're doing with it. So now I'm not gonna fuck with it, And it's deceptive at the end of the day. And it's because they're losing money. Like really, really, really bad. Really bad. Also, everybody should hydrate. I'm drinking coffee. Yeah, whey protein can taste pretty nasty. I think pea protein is my least favorite protein. It's nasty. Also, thank you so much, Crystal, for the posture check. Appreciate you. Also, thank you so much for approving my playtester access for Dogwood. I'm so excited to go play it. I'm not even joking. I'm so stoked. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget to turn off the crazy Jeff Bezos AI training shit on Twitch if you have not turned it off yet. If you need a link on how to turn off that setting. Share with your friends. We must cut off Jeff Bezos from any and all data. Get out of here, Jeffrey. He's so gross. Meta just lost another like $367 million for getting sued over effectively causing severe mental health like problems in children. So I'm kind of expecting a lot of this tech to just like implode. I think that legitimately it's gonna just like collapse very soon, actually. Like I don't think it's gonna last. I'm kind of curious to see what goes down. And I'm very excited for the fall of whatever garbage this is, because I'm sick of it. Oh, I'm sure I'll love it. It's got a cooking dog in it. Like, that is an automatic win for me. Like, I feel like if somebody were to pitch me a game, I don't even need to know the content of the story. They're like, hey, you play a dog that cooks? I'm in. Invested. 100% ready. Oh, you know what I forgot too? Y'all, you know what's important? Drawing in the back of the chair. And not forgetting that this guy, in order to sit, needs to have a chair, I got all distracted talking about existential dread. I got the dread, guys. Crystal, if you want to share the link to your guys' game again, please, please, please do. I'm always so down to support any and all indie creators. There is no spam, only joy. It looks real fun, y'all. It looks so good. Look at it. Everybody go click on it. I'm so stoked. I'm going to try and dive into some indie games today, I think, because I am overwhelmed by capitalism and I don't like it. Oh god, no chips. Oh, that's it. I actually haven't had that issue in a minute, but it turns out the Depakote that I was on actually, I think, really fucked up the delivery of my HRT, and I was unfortunately on the Depakote for as long as I was effectively doing HRT. So for the whole 5 years that I've been doing HRT, and I should have been seeing a lot more progress in my transition up until this point. Effectively, I was taking like adolescent teen levels of testosterone, or my body was doing things that prevented it from properly taking to my body because it was converting it into estrogen. So yeah, effectively the HRT was not working. And we had to adjust my dosages after getting off the Depakote, and I've noticed significant differences since stopping that medication. So fuck the Depakote, and also fuck that lady for prescribing me that garbage medication. So bad. My neurologist saw that I was on Depakote, and he was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't know, man. She was some quack from Colorado Springs, dude. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, or oh, Mariners. Yes, Dogwood. No, for sure. Yes, everybody should support indie gamers for real. For real. Doesn't it look beautiful? I love the art style so much. Like I'm not even trying to like actually like hype up, like overhype somebody else's product. Like legit, I clicked Steam and I was like, this is gorgeous, and I was so excited. I'm just constantly looking for new things to support that are like not commercial, you know, and like I recognize that a lot of commercial stuff is fine, you know, it's stuff that I can enjoy, but I find that I get a lot more excitement and fresh perspective from enjoying more indie productions. Like the best movie that I've seen in a while was Soy Frankelda. You know, so that's the kind of stuff that I go and I look for. Or like I've been really into Hilda lately. I fucking love Hilda so much. Oh yeah, of course, of course. No, for real. Everybody's always allowed to share any projects that they have going on in here. Um, because we got to support each other, you know? That's really like the only way we're going to make it. Okay, so I realize I made a mistake because now I'm going to go and delete this and we're going to duplicate this again. Come here. I'm just definitely looking for fresh stuff. But I do have exciting news that I'm currently reading a manuscript. Speaking of amazing fresh stuff, I'm reading a manuscript for Liminal House right now that has an amazing, amazing premise. And I'm very hopeful that this author is going to blow my mind as I read their manuscript. Because the first bit of it was really, really good. No, exactly, Mariners, exactly. And that's really the only thing that we can do right now. Like, I do feel bad because I have students ask me all the time about getting into the animation industry. And the best advice that I've ever received about that was from my last grad school professor he's currently a storyboard artist for the Disney television branch of Disney, and his advice was just go make your own shit. Like literally stop trying to apply for studios because it's just like the market is so bad, and the only reason that he's able to continue to be in that market is because he was in it before it got this severe. But the fact that our popular large animation magazines can have uh overall like a layoff tracker, crazy. That's insane. Insane. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I'm always, point is, make your own shit. And then also to make sure to support other people who are making their own shit, because that's hugely, hugely important. Also, thank you so much, y'all. I really do appreciate it. It's been a many, 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 many years of sucking really bad and then not sucking so much anymore. So, as is everything good in life. Something, something, Jake the dog, you gotta suck at something to be kind of okay at something, something, something. I don't animate myself. I have a master's degree in VizDev, so that's let me pull up my portfolio real fast. It's a lot of like any kind of like pre-production and illustration development. So my portfolio consists mostly of like concept art, but that also includes props, environments. I do a little bit of narrative design, and I need to expand more of this here. So this is actually just like gameplay and screenwriting. And then storyboarding. So I handle everything, like also color scripting a little bit as well. I do some 2.5D animation, but I would not consider myself a proficient animator. But I do teach animation at the collegiate level, so I wouldn't say animation specifically. I teach a lot of writing and storytelling classes, so the one that I've been teaching the most has been literally, it's called Digital Painting for Film and Games, but it is legit just a how to use Photoshop class for people who are entering the animation degree. So I'm very passionate about animation, and especially passionate about game design, but I definitely have more experience in previs. I still have not gotten rejected from U2s, also, speaking of concept art jobs. So that's pretty exciting. They've had that position open for a couple weeks, and if I could just go make collectibles, that would be really fucking cool, actually. I did get a rejection from EA, but that's okay. I don't have a shipped title, so I acknowledge that. That is, that's a high bar to try and jump into, especially since they just laid everybody off, so it's like, I recognize they're not going to be hiring amateurs. They're going to be looking for people with shipped titles, so that was not surprising, but I am surprised that I lasted that long. Yeah, oh my god, they found out you had a soul so they couldn't take you, right? Well, it's like, the only positions I've been seeing open up with EA are all for EA Sports, and I'm like, I would literally rather die than do concept art for the football game, okay? I'm not doing it, you can't make me. So I had applied for Apex Legends, but I didn't get it. That's okay. That's so funny. Oh, thank you, Mariners. Yes, yeah, the Divi, Wix template or WordPress template is what I use for my website. It's an amazing like website building tool. I really like it a lot. They just got sold. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I'm kind of mad about it because, like, I recognize, like, my ideal job with EA, for example, would be working on The Sims, but I'm not really sure what their future is going to look like given everything that's going on. You know what I mean? Like The Sims is so beautifully, wonderfully diverse and a funny, quirky, weird, silly little game, and now I'm like, hopefully, bad shit won't happen and that, it can retain its spirit despite everything that's going on, but we're gonna have to kind of wait and see what happens there. Yeah, they're gonna apparently they're not releasing DLCs anymore at all. And now what it's relied on, it's swapped to effectively the base game is done as it is, and so that would be why they're not actually like developing the game anymore. The system is done, the DLC expansions are done, and they've now turned it completely into a creator market where individual players can buy and sell assets that they make as a modding community to expand The Sims. They're called maker kits, which I think is great. And actually, shout out to the modders for creating some of the most beautiful shit I've ever seen in my whole life. They're so beautiful. So point is that there's not really a lot of like extra positions open anymore for The Sims, and I don't suspect that there will be. They also made the announcement that they are not going to be making The Sims 5. You know, it's not that. So that game I think is effectively it's just done. I thought about applying this to The Sims just so someone could fix their build and buy filtering system. Oh my god, it's a nightmare. It's so bad. And then they kept like adding DLC, so there's like a bazillion objects in there, and it's like, if you want to find this lamp, sorry bro, you're never gonna be able to find it. Good luck. You're lost in there forever. Nice try. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have him have a more speculative look on his face. This is fine. He looks so nonplussed. Literally, right? No, the IKEA like shelving system is so fast. Absolutely though. No, it's like I'm never gonna be able to find this information. It's okay. It's fine. Don't think about it. They never call it a lamp. No, I know. It's a stick of whimsy. Stop. You're right, though. And then you're like, man, I really wanted that one object, but I'm never going to find it. Oh my god. You're right. What do you mean you didn't want the stick of whimsy? I've never seen a more accurate description. Oh my god, that's so funny. This is a little high. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Let me just bring this down so his forehead isn't insane. Half a box of creamy tuna helper and cheddar. That actually sounds really good though. Sometimes you don't need anything crazy. You just need a little bit of creamy nudes, you know? That was terrible. You guys can kick me off the internet now. I'm so sorry. Okay. These models are I am speed. I actually hate this face. Hold on. Whoa. I don't want him to be that angular. I'm gonna ignore the model for a second. There we go. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't normally like tinned tuna, but if you get the good tuna melt, it's like god tier. Like, they're so good. I think I'm gonna have a lot better luck now that I'm on the coast finding actual good food. And being able to eat a lot more varieties of fish. Like, there's so many good fishies out there that we just don't get. Like, and I especially wasn't getting because I was, like, landlocked. So I'm very excited to get the good fishies. I think I'm going to put his arm down for this particular panel as well. It'll be fine. I would like to move him a little bit. Yeah, the differences are insane. The food prices here, for example, like 10 CAD, 20 CAD is equivalent to about like 12 to 15 USD. And so what I've been finding is that in the US, I was spending about $60 to $75 USD every time I went to go out to eat. At a regular restaurant, it wasn't even like, you know, a fancy restaurant, and I spend about 40 to 50 CAD. Or USD in CAD equivalent here instead, which is insane. So I've definitely been, I've eaten out a little bit more than I normally do because it's actually genuinely more affordable. food, like, housing prices are insane. Housing prices are crazy, but at least the food is kind of cheap. So I'll take it. I'll take it. I learned that I live in Little Saigon, so effectively where I'm at is effectively best Vietnamese food of all time, and I'm also very excited to go and actually eat some Filipino food. Denver somehow had zero Filipino food, and we have not only two Jollibees, but also like a bunch of like inasal restaurants and stuff. So I'm very excited to go and do that. My husband's mom has been asking whether or not we've gone and consumed any Pinoy food, and we haven't had the chance to yet, but maybe we will tonight. It might be the time. Maybe today's the day. I just want to go eat out somewhere and drown in sadness. Just kidding. I solve my sadness with rice. That's the secret. I just need, like, there's like a little Asian restaurant, or not an Asian restaurant, an Asian supermarket that's nearby us, and like they have a lot of like broadly Asian goods sold there, but I'm pretty sure the owners are Filipino because I saw somebody walking out of there with what I can only imagine. It wasn't buko pandan. It was, hold on, what are those? It was biko. They had like, he had like a whole box of like biko, and it must have been like pandan or like ube flavored because they were very pretty, and I all of a sudden was more hungry in my whole life than I could have ever been, and it was crazy. So that's pretty cool. If you want to get to my YouTube, the way to do that would be to go over to my website, and if you hit the front page, you'll find all of my social medias there. I think I might have a socials command too. Hold on, let me see if I got that one. Hold on. Hold on. Is it this one? I don't even remember what commands. I do! You can find my handle here, or you can check it out over on my website above my head. I realize that this is not long enough here. What makes me sad is that I don't know if Bing is going to even come back, or if this is like a cameo. I might have him make a recurring appearance, but I'm not super sure. It is a mystery. KJ's now Uncle Jo is playing a game called Everything is Crab.
Oh yeah, that was the one that I was talking about the other day, where it's effectively a roguelite like beat 'em up sort of deal.
And everything is crab?
So effectively it's like the level ups that you get within this roguelite are evolution traits.
Oh my
and
god.
You're trying to evolve your guy by eating other people. and and then eventually you wind up you need to level up and evolve your little guy before the boss rounds show up, and all the bosses are like animal crab hybrids.
Oh god, everything is crab. That's crazy though. That's so
it's
funny.
really silly.
That is great. I love that. As it should be. Crab people, crab people. Looks like crab, but tastes like people. I have 39 hours on Everything is Crab. I love that, though. That's so awesome. Tudor-eyes, Tudor-eyes. Okay. Sir. Sir. Oh, good lord. Alright. I did it! Calls to me. I am ready. Trying to figure out if I want to grade my students' work while I am sitting in office hours today, or if I want to do other work so that way I have time to, like, play games. Or if I want to just sit and play games while I'm in office hours. And I'm not really sure what my strat is yet. Why are you like this? What have I done to you to deserve this? Oh, it was this hole. I found the hole. I found it. Wow. Oh, wait. This stroke is too thick. All right. Well, slowly but surely. I don't know if I've listened to that song. If you have a link to any music that you like, let me know. Or if you know the singer and the artist, I will load it up into Spotify. And then we can jam. Oh, thanks! Yeah, that was a random prompt. I just decided, I was like, what seems like a realistic book? And it is indeed a fake book. So unfortunately, The Girl in the Fog, not real. But thank you. Yeah, I wanted to show off what, like, photo-based covers can look like, because I think a lot of authors assume that because it's photo-based, it doesn't have any, like, artistic flair to it, but it's like, no, you can kind of... You can add photo filters and stuff to make things look really cool. So legit, that is just one stock photo and, like, a bunch of, like, photo filter work in Photoshop, and that is all. I still think about that one person who came into my website the other day, and I'm assuming they came from, like, finding me via, like, the Human Artists Blue Sky starter pack. And they went to my site, they were like, I need a book designer, and I was like, okay, but then in the form, the commissions fill out form, they just put F as their email, and I'm like, man, I am never going to be able to find you. I don't know how you expect me to respond. I can't find you. You have to give me your email, otherwise I won't know where you are. I'm sorry. There is a lot that goes into writing a book. I feel like, and like just in general, whether you're on the writing side or on the design side, and things are crazy. And I'm like, I want to help you, but now I have no way to contact you. So I don't know who that mystery person was, but I will never find them probably. And I'm like, dang, I could have. You're gonna think that I ignored you. I had to like make a TikTok post being like, hey, if this was you, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know where you went. Hey, we're ready for the dance ceremony. I got about 20 minutes, give or take, before I have to go and help these students. Do I want to actually grade, or I have 2 more weeks of being a teacher and then I don't have to do it anymore. And I'm trying to figure out how much effort I want to put into these students at the very end. There are a bunch of students in the class that are fantastic, but then because they're really, really talented, they probably don't need to be an undergrad. You know, like they should have, like, I believe that all arts education should be effectively skill based. And so if you need to learn foundations and the basics, absolutely go to an undergraduate art college or whatever. But like if you're clearly well beyond that point, you should be not at undergrad, and you should be able to just go directly onto grad school. And I don't know why we don't do that. So there's a lot of kids in this class that are like they could very easily just go on and do whatever. And then they're trapped in undergrad and doing effectively the most basic assignments of all time, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I don't know what to tell you. I can do nothing. And then REMCAT is a private institution as well, so they don't let their kids check out of classes either because they want to milk everybody for the as much money as they can. Yeah, no, it's totally valid. And there are certain art schools that are like, I would say they are definitely not all art schools are created equal. For example, the art school that I got my master's degree from, way better. It was an exceptional private college institution experience. But like the school that I got my undergrad from, waste of time. Absolute waste of time. And like if you can prove that you can produce a good product without going to school, and you have the skills necessary to effectively just like take critique and continue to get better, all school is going to do is provide you an environment for like critique and just overall like muscle memory practice, which is fine. But like like some students are just built different. I was not one of those kids. I needed to go to school for foundations because my art was kind of ass, so it was okay, but it wasn't good. And I didn't really though get good until after grad school because the first school just like the level of critique was not sufficient. The school that I teach at and the school that I graduated from is called the Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design. It's a small arts college in the Colorado area, the Denver, Colorado area specifically. And it used to be a lot better, but it got bought out and corporatized, and now it is really, really bad. And I have a lot of tea that I could spill about the school, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting to do that until after I don't work there in 2 weeks. But who boy, do I have literally the craziest shit. It's okay. Like they were okay. I think that the instructors there really are like the backbone of the school, but I also think about how like I've watched other instructors not really teach their kids, so I feel like I'm one of the only instructors that actually is giving 100, 200, 300% all the time, other than the actual like full-time professors. And then all the other adjuncts, no joke, are like leaving feedback on their students' work like, I like it, or lines too rough, smiley face. And that's the critique that these students are getting every week. And I'm like over here, making like 20-minute critique videos to make sure that the kids actually learn. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, how like, why did you pick this as a career? And the answer is that they're trying to get a job in animation but can't because all of the layoffs are happening, and so they need something to tide them over. And they thought, I can teach a kid how to draw. And then they don't realize that there's actually like a lot more that goes into it than just like doing that. You have to be able to give valuable feedback and stuff. And in person is way better than online. I currently teach the online, so would not recommend that. AAU rocked though. I love that school. I will rep that school for forever. It was awesome. Hi Goose, how you doing? I have so much unnecessary drama about the school. I'm ready. I'm so ready to be done with having to teach these kids. If y'all were in the joke junction, you guys saw meter shower. You know what I have to deal with every week. Meter shower. I feel ultra bad because like the reading comprehension is real bad. Oh yeah, no, I think about the window. Hold on, no, I have to show everybody because I feel like this doesn't expose any information about the student, but like sometimes the assignments that I get are literally god tier, and this was from this week. Meter shower. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I could possibly tell you. You know, and I give valid critique, right? I do my best. You know, so for this one, for example, I talked about rule of thirds, and I talked about lighting and how you can use motion in a thumbnail in order to convey story, right? So it's not that this is a bad piece of art, it just needs extra work, but I'm also like, bro, I don't know how to. You're not ready for the industry. You know, like you're doing your best, but you're not ready. So some kids are like that, where they're in that position where it's like you are not ready for an industry job, and that's fine. But also you need to kind of acknowledge where you're at, you know. And the problem that I have with a lot of private art institutions is that they kind of set their kids up to fail. And so like when I graduated, I recognized that my art was not good enough for the industry, and I've deleted most of it off of the internet because I just don't it's not relevant to my portfolio anymore, right? But like, let me see if I can find it, or at least stuff that would have been from that time. Hold on, we're going on a journey, guys. We're going on a DeviantArt journey to the land of AI and hell. Let me see what I got. If I scroll back far enough, keep scrolling. Let me see if I can find anything that's like relatively decently representative. That's from when I started Heaven's Equal, actually. And the differences are pretty subtle. And some pieces stand out. They're better than others, but I want to just keep going. I need to find something that's not portraiture. This is a good example. This is character design work, right? And it's okay. I would not say it's great. It's just okay. You know, there's a lot of some anatomy issues, some gesture issues. Like there are things that I could fix about this versus like after a lot of practice and a lot of critique, you know, there's a pretty like stark difference. This was in between art colleges just before, you know, so sometimes you just got to acknowledge that you're not ready. And for me, it was pretty easy to be like, you know what, my art is okay for personal use, but overall, I'm just not ready. And my observational studies were fine. This was done in undergrad. So, this is fine, but it was just not ready. Oh yeah, DeviantArt, you can just make... Here, hold on, let me find it. DreamUp, there it is right there. You can just generate AI right now. Enter prompt. 99% of all AI is, or of DeviantArt is AI. And then their artists, their quote AI artists are making like 13,000 USD a year. Or a month, pardon me, selling AI slop. It's really bad. Did they spell it like that, or did you? No, that was all of them. Meter shower was all of them. But then it's tough, you know, because I see that student and I recognize that they're having a lot of difficulty in the class, and because their reading comprehension and their ability to spell is so bad, I think that legitimately they're reading assignments and they don't know what they're doing. You know, like they read what the assignment directions are and then don't actually understand what they're doing. You know, and so that's where I'm at as kind of a college level like educators. I'm watching kids be physically incapable of actually completing the work, which is rough. So I'm very glad that I won't have to do that anymore, and I can just vibe. I will be free. But yeah, DeviantArt is a hellhole. I'm really sad because like my whole portfolio is hosted on there, and it's like you have to constantly turn off that you're okay with your work being trained for AI and stuff, and it's like that is not how that should be. Hi, Gabriel. Everybody should hydrate. Get some drinkies. And sit up. Everybody, posture check. Don't be shrimping. We don't want to only shrimp sometimes. Oh, nice. How did you like Date Everything? I still haven't gotten through the Hate Everything run because I have anxiety, and that makes me so sad. Making everybody upset has just been awful. It is literally like what I can only describe as a torturous experience. Hold on. I gotta actually like have this fingers extend here because this original hand pose was for a like coffee mug with a handle, I think. So it works for what it needs to do, but not effectively enough. There we go, better. Yeah, much better. Oh, yeah. I have that DLC as well. And I just, like, in order to get Lucinda Lavish to hate you, just gotta tell her that she's hot garbage and that you don't like her, and then she'll just eventually go away. Or if you tell her that you got the DLC for free, she gets really upset. I see Wukong and how tired he is in this panel, and I'm like, bro, me too. If I could be a date everything object, I would want to be a cookbook. I love the idea for the karaoke machine, though. That's so great, though. I like the like joint date everything dateables like Kurt and Rod. Like they're great because they go as a unit. It's just funny. Okay, there we go. Y'all, I did it. I finished this panel before I had to go and do office hours. I get an A+. A+. Nailed it. Oh, that's my father. I don't have time to talk to you right now, sir. I think my parents assume because I work from home that I have the ability to just like call them or talk to them at literally any given point during the day, and I'm like, I don't know how to tell you that. Unfortunately, I do not. I do not have the capacity for that because I got so much shit to do. Everybody, sit up. Don't shrimp. Just because we're getting close to the end doesn't mean that you can shrimp. I'm going to finish thickening these lines out, and then I'm going to have to go, unfortunately. Go and suffer. Whee! I guess I'm going to use my students' office hour time to apply for jobs because that's what I'm gonna do. It makes sense. It makes sense. Hey, that's so awesome. Well, and if you want to share, of course, any of your if you have friends or other people who are promoting projects as well, please do. We could do a really quick like little self-promo thing right here at the end. I actually have a couple of things for people to look at if you want to check it out because it would really help me out. The first for me is that I'm releasing a new novella coming out in October on BackerKit in 2026. And I wrote it out of spite because I thought that the plot for Frozen was really, really bad. So if you want to check that out, it's currently just in like the the interest check sign up stage. So you can hit or type in your email and then it'll sign you up. So this doesn't cost anything, but it will get you in the loop. I also have a lot of information about what I got going on. So if you want to check that out and sign up for it, it really helps me out. I also will have digital rewards for people who can't commit to a full book if you want to read like a very nice like EPUB or PDF copy. And lots of other exclusive rewards like stickers and art prints and tea, because I like doing custom teas with all of my Kickstarters. And then the other thing is if you want to read my newest book that is currently in the judging for the Open Novella Contest, I have Witch in the Woods. All of the information on what the book is about is here. And it is pretty fun. It's a novella, so it's kind of short. So if you want to read it, check it out. That also is there too. But that's all the promo-y stuff that I got. Alright, well, we made progress. I didn't finish it. We did finish this one, though. So, hooray. Nailed it. One page done, at least. But I'm going to go ahead and go and take care of these poor students. And I'll be back on Monday to finish up some commissions. Oh, nice. Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing the link to the game. I'm going to check it out, too. Yeah, so hopefully I will see you all on next week on Monday. And have a great weekend. Bye-bye.